Welcome everybody back to another Boldcast reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
And this is Hunter x Hunter 134. What happened last time?
Last time, Yupi died. WELFIN killed him. What? Oh. And, yeah. And meruem finally remembered slightly what was going on, and then Pouf decided that everything was bad, and then he's like, well, you can just tell me what happened, and then Pouf's coughing up blood, and it's saying, well, everything's changed now, it's different.
Who's saying?
Pouf is. With the deal, with the challenge.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Well, we'll see what happens this time. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. Hunt for your dream down those comment section in the multiple. You know what? If you want multiple comment sections, I was gonna say just this one, but yeah, leave a comment, please. Because I was saying like hunt for your dream down in those comment sections, and then I was like, there's only one. Maybe could they do both? Yeah, sure. Or many? I don't know. Leave a like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Check out Patreon to see the end of Lindsay's reaction to the Hunter x Hunter series. You can get those in uncut format up to the end of the series and possibly see what else we have to offer there on Patreon. You can get ahead on other shows that we're doing, or you can get ahead, possibly see the next show that we're watching that is going to be replacing this. Haven't quite decided what that is yet. Maybe you guys can suggest something. I don't know. Leave a suggestion in the comment section of what you want us to watch after Hunter x Hunter. But more than that, we hope you enjoy this reaction. Hope that you stick around in the future. But enjoy most of all. Let's go. All the war and pollution and factory farming and crucifixion. Oh, poverty, all the things that we're seeing, all the ants are so terrible, but look at everything we've done on our own. The rose was poisonous.
So this is what's going on with the king.
Radiation poisoning, basically. It was a dirty bomb.
Yeah, this was clearly the reason why it was
implemented. Yeah.
And also why it was they were trying to ban it. Nukes in real life, it's like this is just like on another level. It doesn't matter how many people it kills right away if then this is the result. Like
Chernobyl. Do you know about Chernobyl? Like what happened about the cleanup? We got to watch the show Chernobyl.
Yeah.
We really have to watch it because it deals with what happened, like what went into that. It's a short series. I've seen it, but I think you'd love it. They had to like kill all animals like in the area. They had to just exterminate everything because if it got into the gene pool outside, they would mutate, there'd be birth defects. It would like destroy the environment to have like this spreading to the outside. So it was crazy, yeah. Yeah,
and then things eat the radiated animals, and then it just keeps going, and
until like the entire ecosystem is fucked. Basically, which is what they're kind of describing here.
The word X is X that someone. Always trying to hide things.
Pouf, how many times do I need to tell you? We are one. We are linked. I can feel what you feel.
I mean, if you keep doing it, the game's over. Or did he say that it was allowed to keep going?
It's still technically going.
Is he gonna be able to sense them? Oh.
He can sense footprints.
Damn. But he can't really sense underground because he didn't find WELFIN and Bravada before. Oh.
The way he just appears there.
Tell him about the girl. Oh. But he died on his own.
Jesus. He can't, he just cannot, he doesn't have it in him to do it, like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
Just like
Damn.
with Pouf.
You're useless now. He's dying. Just tell him about the girl.
Very bold to interrupt him.
For what?
He's just grasping at every straw. Is he gonna say that's against the rules?
How about you just stop with this contest? Oh, it's secrets! Oh no, it's secrets!
He's calling it a monster now. Why did I come here? What the fuck was I doing? You're filled with a deluded sense of confidence. Seeing Yupi, this like titan, it just spurred him on even more. He's just so full of regret.
ブフの秘密、俺の感情の根源、これを総動員して俺は何を言えば、最初の初めの一言が勝負だ。一世一代の一言、瞬間全部終わるかもしれねえ。この圧迫感、異様な緊張感。
夫婦、その秘密が世に向ける憎悪とわずかでも終わりがあると申すか。
これが王。
世を遮る衰えた挙げ静まがいの信玄、覚悟の上であろう。心して答え。
Holy shit!
能力はとを待つまでもなくの判定を可能としている。
You can just reach into his
絶対
mind.
的振幅を知りつつ明瞭に発せられる殺意にまみれたオーラは、その答えがそぐわぬ場合、死をもって償いを示していた。忠義も敵意も王のでは皆平等に無価値止められない。
Just, yeah. What, this guy who's like so, is like the equivalent of a toddler, wants to kill him? Oh well.
あの時
He's literally gonna die for it.
He was prepared to die
Yeah.
the whole time.
順次よ、己の忠義に。勝負の途中ゆえ、ただそれだけのこと。
常軌を逸する決意、王を止めた。
His resolve and madness.
腹が減ったな。
しかしウェルフィンは即座に理解した。
俺はこれて死ぬ。
およそ1秒先、
死ぬ。
自身の未来を知ったウェルフィン。9年余りが過ぎたかのごとく、
生きたい。
Holy shit.
過去の一切が高速で雑然と流れ弾け散り、
What is this
現在と混ざり合った。
一言、最初の最後の
生への執着と境界で、
一言、メッセージ。王との一言。あの時ブフがピトーと一言、ブフの秘密一言。どこと死ぬわけは死なねえ。
かつてなく目まぐるしく働いた脳細胞が導く。通常であれば選択し得ないものだった。
They're getting like creative with all these like flowers and
Visualizations, and that was it. One word brought him back to life. There was nothing else he could say. Look at the bliss.
これほどとは。
Oh, he feels it too with his spiritual message and their connection.
これほどまでに彼女を。
look what you were denying him of.
夫婦、これがその方の。
はい。た以上に彼女。何なりと処罰を。叶うはずなどない。は。
I never had a
人を探
chance.
せ。兵が何か知っているかもしれん。引き出せたら解放してやる。そやつらに聞きたいことはもうない。
Release them.
He just wants to find her.
あろうはずもない。
There's nothing else. After
It doesn't
feeling it
matter,
himself,
yeah.
it's like there's nothing else to it.
And now that he's dying anyway, it's just so sad. It's just like you just want him to just be able to find her and just hang out, play one last game, and then just die. Oh my god, look at him.
小麦は地下格納庫の土国と共にいる。お主はそれを余か護衛軍に知らせる。
なぜそれを
お主が役目を引き受けタコにありそうだ。役目を全うしなかった理由は憎悪の根源に起因する。図星か安心せん。答えた後はどこへ行く自由だ。お主のおかげで大切なものを思い出せた。
D エリアのビゼフ指定で待つと。
Jesus Christ. He has like 50 ulcers at this point.
俺の王はジャイロただ一人。貴様らは敵だ。俺たちが。
さようか。
Very brave.
会えるといいな。
He has no enemies.
そして可能な人として生きるがよい。
His whole purpose with those words of forgiving a traitor. Holy
か
shit!
つてネテロはとアリとの間で揺れているとカンパした。だが今や
This is really interesting. I just thought of this. It's this and how he completely switched up his entire thing and has like reprioritized. Like she was already high in his priorities pre-memory loss. But then now that he's remembered her and like has been like basically new life without her and then new life with her, then she becomes like the ultimate priority. And it's very similar to previously when he was like, no, I don't care, blah, 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 blah. And then he goes in and then when she's getting attacked by the eagle and then he has like a split second of like, oh no, what if she died there? Then like that was him like imagining basically now what he has experienced. So it's the same thing but even stronger, and that's why before when he realized how much she meant to him, then he like reevaluated and was like, well, maybe some humans are good, maybe some humans are okay. And then when it's much bigger than that, he's like, I don't give a fuck what anyone else is doing. You want to have someone else be your king? Go off. I hope that you have that because I have something really good, and that's what matters to me. And it's just sad because he's dying, so it doesn't matter anyway. Even if he finds her, then he'll just get to die with her, which is depressing.
I love this episode. I love just the way they communicate the tension and this, just the, like you really feel stressed out for him and just all the visualizations, all the way that they communicate the stress, and then the way he just like whispers komugi. It has, like, you remember when that big reveal in Attack on Titan season 2? When that huge reveal happens and like it's like almost nonchalant. It's like an everyday conversation. Yeah. Everyone probably knows what I'm talking about. It has the same vibe as that, where it's just like, oh yeah, and this as well. And then it's just like such a huge piece of information and such a huge turning point, just communicated so just so quietly. You know, I like that.
It's crazy, yeah. And then Pouf sees, like, he feels the full extent of it, and is just like so bad. And WELFIN just ages literally 100 years and is so goddamn stressed out. And I love that as well. That it's like WELFIN did something that he wouldn't have been able to do normally, of just by saying the truth and like saying the one thing that he was there to say. Like normally he physically and mentally and emotionally could not handle doing something like that.
Yeah.
But he was so stressed out that he just like went on autopilot and said it.
Yeah.
And now he looks like a hairless cat.
He looks like I don't know, like a pit bull now. He was like a wolf and now he's like a weird little pit bull guy.
I like how none of the hairs on his tail fell out though.
Yeah, I don't know. But I like that he actually, like, the confidence in the end to fully declare.
Yeah.
Just like,
I do.
You're my enemy.
Yeah, I love that thing. He's just like, you're my enemy. He's like, That's fine.
I don't have any enemies.
Yeah, he's literally, it's like, before when someone would defy him, he'd be like, I'm your enemy, therefore you are also my enemy, but now it's like, if someone wants to be my enemy, I don't know how to describe it. It's like,
it's not my problem if I'm your enemy.
Yeah. You can hate me all you want, but I don't have to feel any type of way towards you just because you feel some way towards me.
Yeah.
You can
It's
live
kind of
your
like
own life.
security. It's like, you know, I don't know, once you have that box checked, once you're secure enough in yourself, you don't need, it's not, you don't feel that way, right? Like, you know, like it's not, you don't care.
Well, it's like similar to how when he was previously, when he was insecure about being the king and like didn't like that title because there was other kings in the world and other people could be called
He
that.
went all out.
then
He was like, I'm gonna kill Komugi just to prove to myself that I'm the king.
What I was gonna say is that when he was fighting Netero, and then he was like, well, no, I am the king. I have now tested myself and I see how powerful I am. And now he's like tested himself as a person with emotions, and now it doesn't bother him when other people have their own emotions as well.
Yeah, his will is solidified. Like, he was already strong. That's why he wanted to talk. Is because that was the one aspect where he wasn't as confident. Like, he was confident going into that fight with Netero that he wasn't going to be defeated physically. But like, that's why he plays the games with Komugi. That's why he does all this shit, is because he's insecure mentally and developmentally. And those are the things that he needs to figure out. Those are the challenges that he needs to face. So that's what he challenges people on. And that's why the Netero fight was such a fucking bullshit thing to him, because it was just like a ploy to kill him, like without challenging him at all, and or like even entertaining him. Like, you know, Netero, if he had come correct, maybe he could have fully convinced the king the other way, but he was just, I need to exterminate, because if not, one, I want to. First of all, I'm cruel like that, and I want to kill this guy. I want to defeat him and crush him because he's a challenge to me personally. Second of all, the Hunter Association will be put with all the blame if I fail. So I've come here with that purpose.
Yeah. I just thought of something, how interesting this is of, we talk a lot so far about how the king Meruem and Gon are like mirroring each other and like opposing each other in a lot of ways. And this is so interesting as well, because I had talked about, what if he is kind of doing the same thing as Gon, but accidentally and like using a lot of power, and that's what's killing him. Turns out it's not. He's basically getting radiation poisoning, and the chemicals that were in that bomb are killing his body. But it's so interesting because he he went through like an entire journey and like exceeded himself, almost died, and then like realized what was really important in life. And then that caused him to like grow, because before he was like a child. How Gon is literally a child. He is also literally a child. He is fully grown. He is an adult ant. He is the leader of all of them. But he was so emotionally immature that he was just like flip-flopping. He couldn't decide. He didn't have time to like sort things out and figure things out. But then after having this big fight where he like holds true to what he believes in, and then dies and then comes back from the dead and then can't remember anything, is like really lost again in the world, like he's just like remembering things as he sees them, and then he gets the one thing and he's like, yes, this is what matters, and I'm gonna mind my own fucking business. Yeah. And he gained a lot of maturity through all of that, and it's like, you know, with Vinland Saga Season 2, it's like arriving at like kind of a similar place of like just, being secure in yourself, being confident in yourself and in your beliefs and in what you want. And, you know.
And knowing that you're strong enough to achieve it, because that's a big thing in Vinland Saga Season 2 as well, is like, Thorfinn wouldn't have been able to do all the things that he did, like whether it's the farming and clearing the forest, if he wasn't strong to begin with, right? Like, so it was through effort. Like he had, obviously Thorfinn has good genetics, obviously the king has has a lot handed to him in terms of power. So it's not quite right, but it's not, as far as like, you know, it's not like he worked hard to get here necessarily. But in a way he did, because like the king arriving at this conclusion, he did, like we just said, he worked hard to develop his mind, and it was as a result of Komugi interacting with him. Yes. And by a lot of chance, but it was also like he didn't just immediately shut things down. When that little fucking bug got in his head, this little earworm of like, what am I? Like, you know, he followed that. He didn't just try to squash it and keep moving forward. He like tried to entertain it, tried to break it down, tried to understand it. And that like development and this gave him the strength to be how things work.
I'm gonna get back to Gon in a second and how that ties together, but I was just thought of something interesting of like people always say it's like people aren't born evil. This man was literally born evil.
No.
I mean, he killed his mom instantly.
So?
I mean, that's kind of it. He immediately was like, I want to kill everything and to take over the world.
I think the point is not that he was born evil. The point is, like with, they show all this shit at the beginning of the episode as a way of like, it's not about evil. It's not like he wasn't born evil. We're way worse, like way worse. And we consider that, you know, people are good or whatever, but there's a continuum to these things. It's not just about good or evil necessarily. He wasn't born evil. He was born just the same as any other creature is born. You know, there's a lot of creatures that on their way, like, you know, is Tyrion evil for killing his mother in childbirth because his head was too big? You know, it's the same shit. And he, you know, as we've discussed many times, killing is not the ultimate evil in this world.
I guess what I'm saying is that he was born with a biological incentive towards violence, I guess you could say.
What species has not been born with a tendency towards violence?
I mean, a lot of things like
vegetarians.
Yeah,
they consume life as well.
But not people, like a bunny or any other type of animal.
A stoat? Stoat's pretty fucking evil, all things considered. That's my point. The size doesn't matter. The scale doesn't matter. It's still life consumes life. That's just kind of that's the circle of life. It doesn't make it evil if you consume something or, you know.
No, I guess what I'm just trying to say is it's interesting that like he was like so violent in the beginning, and then like after he like. With people, it's like, okay, you're a kid and you're super innocent, and then with Gon, he's very innocent, and then along the course, he becomes more violent. But the king is born super excessively violent. He is more powerful than anything. He can cut people's heads off. He eats people. He eats his own people. He does whatever. And then over time, in the end, when he looks he's like, I'm hungry. He looks at WELFIN. WELFIN's like, I'm gonna get eaten. And then he doesn't eat WELFIN, even though he's hungry. He has better things to do. He goes off to find Komugi.
Okay.
And then Gon, someone who is like, it starts off like super innocent. He's just hanging out on an island, blah, blah, blah. And then over being exposed to the world, he becomes more, like, you know, after Kite dies, and then he goes after Pitou. That is like his most extreme. He like gave his life to pursue violence, essentially, and revenge, whereas the king was more violent and then gave that up in the end because of what mattered to him.
Right.
Whereas Gon didn't have something that he had something to get revenge for instead of something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Basically. And Gon was always so looking forward to the future, and like everything's very good and very happy, and there are like potential for good things, and then something bad happens, and then he needs to like make up for that. So I guess what I'm saying is like they kind of like cross each other and go in opposite directions. And same with how Gon like forces him, like Gon never emotionally matured. The king emotionally matured over his time, whereas Gon has stayed the same emotionally, but he forced himself to physically mature in order to be stronger.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, still having a super weak and like undeveloped mind.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what I was trying to say there. Of like they were so opposites, but went on such similar journeys and arrived at completely different.
Yeah, it's like how I was saying in a previous episode. It's like they started at opposites and now they arrived at opposites.
Yeah, how before we were talking about how Killua and Gon kind of like did a similar thing, but with the king and Gon, it's like it's very similar, you know, and how they go. And obviously we haven't seen Gon yet, or like what he thinks, or like if doing that potentially he can reflect on it and like, you know, think something about it. I don't know yet. like how that's going to play into this whole thing. And obviously when the king is going to die in a couple of hours. So it's just really interesting to think about how they have both grown and changed over this arc specifically.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. Yeah, it's the development. I can't wait to talk about that more in the discussion, because there's obviously things I can't weigh in on yet. But yeah, good episode. You agree? Mm-hmm. Oh, it was cool. We saw like WELFIN's backstory, like all his memories flash before his eyes. In like an instant, we saw all these pictures. Learning to fish. Getting in fights, getting a bike, joining a biker gang.
Avengers.
Yeah, exactly. Just chilling. Just straight chilling. Now he's going to NGL, it looks like. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, that's crazy. I never realized all these pictures are so detailed. Oh, drugs. And then the ants. Mm-hmm. What the fuck is that?
It's him
killing an ant.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's cool. I never looked at that before. That's really awesome. Mm-hmm. Leave a like and subscribe. We'll see you guys next time. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
Bye-bye.